On Atlantic time. And that's why we call what we call fire plan for a particular battle. So every battle we fight, we have fire plan. And one of the requirements of a fire plan is flexibility and modification. So as the battle continues, practical situation changes, and that will allow for modification of the fire plan to go on the battle as planned. And so this morning, as we plan our brief, something just came up, and we have to modify the brief timing to accommodate what has just come in. I was about coming to the hall when something came up, and information that will be other information in the. And when the time comes, I will tell you about it, so that you can also assist us, as usual, to disseminate to members of the public and Nigerians. So having said that, once again, you are welcome to our bi-weekly briefing about the activities of our troops at various theaters of operation across the country. We were unable last week to conduct on-camera brief because of the conference of the African Chiefs of Defense Staff that this headquarters hosted, Nigerian hosted. And so some of you were there, and so you hadn't enough time to rest and come for the brief the next day. Accordingly, we decided to shift the on-camera brief to this morning. So we always thank you and implore you to bear with us in whatever situation we find ourselves. So welcome to the brief. Monthly press briefing on the ongoing operations by the Armed Forces of Nigeria for the month of August 2025. Senior officers, gentlemen of the press, as part of the operational and strategic effort to enhance security communication, this brief will highlight progress made by troops of the Armed Forces of Nigeria in collaboration with other security agencies to keep citizens safe and ensure peace is reinstated in the troubled parts of our country. The objective of this brief, as usual, is to provide you with a factual, up-to-date account of ongoing military operations, highlight key achievements, and address any emerging security development. As always, transparency, accountability, and public engagement remain core to our operational ethos. During the month under review, troops have continued to intensify joint operations aimed at neutralizing threats to national security, restoring stability, and safeguarding the lives and property of citizens. These efforts span across various theaters of operation, including counterinsurgency in the Northeast, anti-banditry operations in the Northwest, anti-oil theft and maritime security patrols in the South-South, and other internal security support roles in collaboration with sister agencies nationwide. I will now proceed to provide a summary of key operations and their outcomes, after which I will take some of your questions, if any. To keep you informed of our operations during the month under review, troops eliminated some key terrorist commanders during firefights as well as through air bombardment. They have also arrested terrorists, kidnappers, and other criminals. The likes of Adamu Buba, otherwise known as My Panshin in Rion, and Abdullah Abubakar, who have been terrorizing Rafiki village in Basa local government area of Plateau State, we are taking off while two suspected gun runners were arrested along Koi Kefi Road in Jama'a local government area of Kaduna State. Similarly, 2 suspected kidnappers identified as Mohammed Sanusi and Usman Al-Haji Bala were arrested in Obajana, Lokoja local government areas of Kogi State. The highlights from Operation Delta Safe during the period under review indicates that troops foiled oil theft worth over 545,872,819 naira only. The breakdown indicates about 619,236 liters of stolen crude oil, 106,170 liters of illegally refined automotive gas oil, and 5,785 liters of dual-purpose kerosene, as well as 2,650 liters of premium motor spirit. Additionally, they discovered and destroyed over 488 equipment and 97 illegal refining sites. Additionally, troops across the theater recovered large quantities of various arms, such as automatic weapons, rocket-propelled grenades, anti-aircraft guns, machine guns, locally fabricated guns, and improvised explosive devices. Also, some cache of live cartridges and assorted ammunition were recovered. Our gallant troops also demonstrated optimally in sustaining the conduct of renewed operational strategy that afforded our farmers within the crisis areas to carry out farming activities. Gentlemen, this effort will be sustained throughout the farming season and beyond. Now let us have a look at what transpired at Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai within the month. Let me begin by discussing the operational activities of Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai between 29th August to 2nd September this year. Troops of Operation Hadinkai sustained the momentum by denying Boko Haram, ISWAP, and just terrorists freedom of action in the Northeast region. During the period, our ground forces, in conjunction with air component, as well as Habri forces and other local security stakeholders, conducted aggressive operations across the theater. Their effort led to the elimination of terrorists, their logistics suppliers, recovery of weapons, dismantling of terrorist networks, and support for safe resettlement of displaced persons and their safe return to farming activities. Our gallant troops conducted kinetic operations against terrorists in Mafa, Bama, Damboa, Goza, Kukawa, Jere, Askirawuba, and Moba local government areas of Borno State, as well as Duhu, Gulag towns in Madagali local government area of Adamawa State. During these encounters, troops eliminated scores of terrorists and arrested 2 suspected terrorist accomplices, while 8 kidnapped hostages were rescued. Also, between 29th August to 1st September, troops conducted operations in Bama, Biu, Marte, local government areas of Borno State, as well as Madagali, Michika, and Damaturu local government areas of Adamawa and Yobe states, respectively. During these encounters also, 13 terrorist collaborators, informants, and a gun runner, as well as a drug peddler, were arrested. Ammunition, logistics items, illicit drugs, vehicles, and motorcycles were also recovered from them, while some improvised explosive devices were safely detonated in Abadan, Goza, and Moba local government areas of the state. The recovered items are in troops' custody while interrogation is ongoing. Having talked to you about the activities of Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai, let me have a word on Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Fansayama. Troops of Operation Fansayama upscaled their operation during this week in focus, where some terrorists were also eliminated and kidnapped victims rescued. For instance, between 31st August and 2nd September, troops conducted offensive operations in Shinkafi and Tafe local government areas of Zamfara State, as well as Isa, Bingi, and Turata local government areas of Sokoto State. They also conducted operations in Shanunu and Takai local government areas of Kano State, as well as Kaduna South, Makarafi, and Gaski local government areas of Kaduna and Kebbi states, respectively. During these operations, too, some terrorists were killed, 23 arrested, while 6 kidnapped victims were also rescued. The troops furthered their operation to Manfashi local government areas of Katsina State, where they encountered and killed some terrorists and rescued 4 kidnapped victims. Some arms and ammunition were also recovered. Relatedly, our gallant troops responded to information about terrorist activities in Faskari and Sabwa local government areas of Katsina State, as well as Tangaza and Augi local government areas of Sokoto and Kebbi states, respectively. During the encounters, troops eliminated some terrorists, recovered arms and ammunition, and rescued 14 kidnapped victims. Meanwhile, on 30th August, a suspected terrorist was arrested while on transit in Borgu local government area of Niger State. During a thorough search, some ammunition, arms, motorcycle, and the sum of 321,000 naira were recovered on him. A word on Joint Task Force North Central Operation Enduring Peace. Senior officers, gentlemen of the press, may I inform you that Operation Safe Haven has been renamed Operation Enduring Peace by the Chief of Defense Staff last week. So while we say Operation Enduring Peace, we meant what we used to know as Operation Safe Haven. During the week, troops of Operation Enduring Peace responded to several distress calls about terrorist activities in some sectors. For instance, within the period of 30th August to 2nd September, troops conducted offensive operations and responded to distress calls on terrorist activities in Mangu, Jos North, Rayon, Kwampan, Barikiladi, Jos East, and Basa local government areas of the state, as well as Kaura local government area of Kaduna State. During the firefights, troops killed some terrorists, arrested 6 criminals, and rescued 2 kidnapped victims. Some weapons, ammunition, motorcycles, vehicles were also recovered from them. In another development, troops arrested a suspected kidnapper while withdrawing the sum of 3 million naira from a POS vendor in Basa local government areas on 30th August 2025. A word on Joint Task Force North Central Operation Wild Stroke. Troops of Operation Wild Stroke recorded some successes in their area of responsibility during the week. They conducted operations between 31st August to 2nd September 2025 in Nasarawa, Kena, and Akwanga local government areas of Nasarawa State, as well as Logo, Agatu, Gwe West, Ukum, Konde, and Katsina Ala local government areas of Benue State. They conducted operations in Karim Lamdo, Wokari, Donga, Lau, local government areas of Taraba State, as well as Gogolda Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory. Similarly, operations were also conducted in Lokoja and Kaba local government areas of Kogi State. During these operations, troops also eliminated some extremists and kidnappers, arrested 9 of them, and rescued 13 kidnapped hostages. They also recovered arms and ammunition, mobile phones, motorcycles, and some vehicles. Let us shift our focus to Joint Task Force South-South Operation Delta Safe. In Operation Delta Safe Theater, troops foiled oil theft worth over 28,800,720 naira only. The breakdown indicates about 24,801 liters of stolen crude oil, 3,250 liters of automotive gas oil, and 850 liters of premium motor spirit. Additionally, they discovered and destroyed 4 crude oil cooking ovens, 11 dugout pits, 7 boats, 5 storage tanks, and 8 illegal refining sites. Furthermore, 17 oil sites were also destroyed. Other items recovered include pumping machines, mobile phones, and 2 vehicles. Furthermore, 5 oil thieves and other criminals were arrested, while assorted arms and ammunition and other criminals were arrested. Some assorted arms, ammunition, and some explosive were also recovered from them. The ammunition and some explosive were also recovered. Relatedly, between 30th August and 1st September 2025, troops on offensive operations arrested 5 suspected criminals in Ahoda and Umuahia local government areas of Rivers State, as well as Ethiopia East, Bomadi, and Sepele local government areas of Delta State. The troops recovered arms, ammunition, and a vehicle, and the sum of 1,702,100 naira only from the criminals. A word on Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Uduaghan. Troops of Operation Uduaghan sustained offensive posture throughout the week under review. They conducted operation in Haila and Agota local government areas of Anambra State, as well as Okigwe and Arachukwu local government areas of Imo and Abia states. However, during patrol in Arachukwu, troops discovered some banner boldly written National Research and Production, Biafran Province Government, Bende Division, and Biafran Military Depot in the area. The camps were destroyed, while some arms and ammunition, motorcycle, improvised explosive devices, and some pairs of military boots were recovered from the camps. Before I go to closing remark, I told you that there was something that came up shortly before I was to come, and we need to let you know what it is. So that comes under other information. Now, incessant protests by some discharged soldiers at the Federal Ministry of Finance. It will be recalled that the federal government of Nigeria implemented the new minimum wage for all federal government workers in July 2024. Before the implementation of the minimum wage, there was a chart based on which gratuity and security department allowance was calculated for soldiers, and then the minimum wage chart. So basically, there were 2 charts in 2024. The first chart was what we call pre-minimum wage chart, which was effective 1st January 2024 to 28 July 2024. I repeat, 1st January 2024 to 28 July 2024. There was a chart based on which retired soldiers or retired military personnel emoluments were being calculated. Then the second chart was the real minimum wage chart, which took effect from 29th July to date. Now, calculation of gratuity and security debarment allowance. Gratuity and security debarment allowance for military personnel is calculated based on salary chart on the effective date or retirement. So if a soldier is retired today, the subsisting chart that his emolument will be calculated will be based on the chart today. If tomorrow another chart comes out, that soldier's emolument will not be calculated based on that. Unfortunately, the soldiers who retired between 1st January 2014 to 28 July 2024. I say again, those soldiers who retired from 1st January 2024 to 28 July 2024, before the implementation of the new minimum wage, wanted their gratuity and security debarment allowance to be calculated based on the new minimum wage chart. This cannot be done because the policy of the new minimum wage came into effect on 29th July. Thus, soldiers who fall within the category of pre-minimum wage chart are those soldiers who continually protest and construct barricades at the Federal Ministry of Finance, despite being educated on the two charts by Defense Headquarters. Therefore, it is necessary to reiterate that government policies have effective dates of implementation, and this case cannot be an exception. Therefore, the action of those soldiers is seriously affecting the smooth conduct of activities at the Federal Ministry of Finance. The Defense Headquarters acknowledges freedom of legitimate protest, but the veterans are strongly advised to tread with caution and vacate the premises of the Federal Ministry of Finance in order to pave way for normal government functions to seamlessly be conducted at the ministry. This is the message that came for us to pass to you so that you can help us through your medium to also inform some of our veterans and the general Nigerian public. Now, in closing, senior officers, gentlemen of the press, in conclusion, the Armed Forces of Nigeria remains fully committed to its constitutional mandate of defending the territorial integrity of our great nation, supporting civil authorities in maintaining internal security and ensuring peace and stability across all regions. We appreciate your continuous support and objective reportage, which play a crucial role in strengthening national unity and public confidence. As always, we urge the media and the general public to rely on verified information from official sources and to refrain from circulating content that could compromise ongoing operations or endanger lives of our personnel or civilians. If I got you well, you said there was a court judgment that soldiers should serve for 15 years before disengagement.
No, like the court has invalidated that rule by the ministry that it has to be 15 years. Now that you want to be up to 15 years. Yes.
Okay, that even before the 15 years you should retire. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So let me apply the military way of doing things from the rear. Let me start from the last person. When we do weapon training, we say the first thing to come on jury strip is the last to go in. Okay, the Armed Forces of Nigeria, the military, has a document we refer to as Conditions and Terms of Service. In that document, everything regarding the disengagement and otherwise of military personnel are spelled out. And also, there are different entry methods or categories into the military. For soldiers, they go to depot. For officers, they go to as regular cadets, regular combatant cadets. They go to the Nigerian Defense Academy. And we also have other ways through which officers can be commissioned, granted presidential commission. We call it short service. That is open to graduates. And we'll also have direct short service that is open to professionals. When I mean professionals, we are talking of doctors, accountants, lawyers. They can go for direct short service. But short service, they go as combatant officers, but as graduates. While those that finish secondary school go to Nigerian Defense Academy as cadets, and you pass out academy. So there are different terms and conditions for the services of all this category of officers and also soldiers. So whichever condition catches up with you, you take it like that, you go. Abi, unless the terms and conditions of service, Armed Forces of Nigeria is rewritten, we'll still go by what is contained in that document. That is for that. And then for Ola, first of all, you said one IPOP sympathizer or supporter was jailed in Finland for 6 years, and that his defense headquarters happy with that development. And what was the second part? How do we do with the other ones? They need short answers. Is the defense headquarters happy with it? Yes, because it will lessen our job in the Southeast. If you recall, for the past 2 months, we've not been having so much challenges in the Southeast. So these are as a result of renewed vigor of the troops there, as well as what happens to sympathizers or sponsors of that terrorist act there. And what happened to the other ones in Nigeria? That's what we're saying. Well, Samuel Epa was an individual in Finland, so his trial was speedily done by Finnish government. But here, we have so many of them. We have so many of them that are to be tried. And in any case, the duty of the military is not to dispense justice. Our duty is to fix an appointment between you and those that will judge you. Or fix appointment between the terrorist and his maker. So what becomes of him is not our business again. But we just have a task of doing this too. And we have done it. And the judiciary are doing their own. Thank you. Then the first question from Gloria, she said there was a viral video going around on social media in one of the northern states where terrorists were being celebrated and pictures being taken with them. Was that your question? Yes, sir. And what is the defense headquarters reaction? What do you have to do about it? Well, like I told you, a terrorist is a terrorist to the military. Whether they become friends and well-wishers to other communities, that is not our business. A terrorist is a terrorist, and that is why our troops are in various theaters ensuring that they take away these terrorists, so that you and me can go about our normal activities without fear of intimidation. Sometimes, these terrorists we are talking about, some of them are part of us. They are from within the communities, some of them. True of us? Good. So until we catch you and interrogate you properly and ascertain that you are a terrorist, then you are a terrorist to us. So many narratives has been passed across social media about how terrorists are treated in some parts of the country. We don't treat terrorists as such. I've told you what we do with them. If we grab them alive, we'll hand them over. But if in the course of our operations, exchange of fire, they go, then fine. So defense headquarters or the military for that matter do not, I will never entertain that kind of fraternity with terrorists. It's not part of our game. Thank you. And let me also, based on what I read to you about the activities of some of our veterans at the Federal Ministry of Finance, I've invited one of our stakeholders in the finance sector who are constantly talking to these soldiers. When I mean soldiers, the retired ones that are causing those problems. They have been talking to them in collaboration with Military Pensions Board. So I want to give him a minute or two so that he can also lend his voice to what I've just read to you, because nobody asked about it. So he can also add his voice so that we'll be more informed about what the Defense Headquarters is doing in order to ensure that those are our veterans that are always barricading entrances to Federal Ministry of Finance, disrupting traffic, and obstructing activities of the ministry are talked to. So please, a word from you or two.
Thank you very much, sir. Of the Nigerians is that they want to benefit from the present chart being used to pay the salaries and wages of military personnel. Unfortunately, they retired before the effective date of that cycle. We've shown it to them. Some of them see reasons, but as expected, they feel that if they put pressure on the system, maybe the system will cave and consider them. But policies don't work like that. We'll explain to them and we'll continue to engage them. We were with them till late last night and employed them that they should vacate that premise. I'm told that they are still there. So just for the public to know that they have paid their security department allowance based on the effective chart as at when they retired from the service.
Or we are going to use force if they refuse to comply with the instructions to vacate the place. Let us talk to them first. When we talk to them and they don't leave the place, then we'll know what to do.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sunrise Times. Concerning the protest at the finance headquarters, I think there should be a different story apart from what we're here for. Because to tell you the truth, I'm just getting this information for the first time, and I've been going with the former information for a lot of people didn't understand this. I think we need this clarification to be put in black and white. Let it be a different story so we can disseminate it so a lot of people understand the position of the defense and what they are fighting for. Is it right or wrong? People will be able to judge. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your contribution. You are very right. There is a need for that. But what I told you, I've just scripted it. I will give you, as I'm giving you the soft copy of today's brief, I will attach the document to it so that you can go and sit down and use your way of reporting it to do it. Thank you so much. May we please rise for 1 minute silence on our